All right, let's dive into one of the biggest what-if questions in all of Game of Thrones. What if Arya Stark never took her name back? What if she fully gave in to the shadows and truly became no one? Let's explore what that world would have looked like. I mean, just take a second and really picture this. No epic reunion with Jon and Sansa. No incredibly satisfying revenge on Walder Frey. And, this is the big one, no hero in the Godswood to face the Night King. What would that world even be? To really understand this alternate reality, we've got to go back a bit. We need to remember why that path was so damn tempting for her in the first place. Think about it. After watching her own father's execution and losing almost everyone she ever loved, Arya was just a ball of grief and pure rage. So when the House of Black and White came along, they offered her something she just couldn't resist, a way to channel all that pain, to forge it into a weapon. They promised to turn her greatest weakness into her absolute greatest strength. And this brings us right to that critical crossroads she faced in Braavos. You see, it was never just about learning how to fight, it was a fundamental choice about who she was going to be. So, who exactly are the Faceless Men? Well, they're not just some guild of killers for hire. They are basically a death cult, and they serve this mysterious, many-faced god. For them, death isn't a punishment. Oh no, it's a gift. And that philosophy is as powerful as it is completely terrifying. And the price of joining? It's absolute. It's an all-or-nothing deal. They don't want to train Arya Stark. They want to erase her. They need a blank slate, a perfect, identity-free servant. And you can totally see why this was so alluring, right? For a kid who's lost everything, the promise of a new purpose, of discipline, of having control, it's incredibly powerful. This was her chance to finally be the one holding the cards, instead of the one always running away. But here's the contrast. The very core of her character. She just can't let go. Hiding Needle wasn't just hiding a sword. It was preserving a piece of Jon Snow, a piece of Winterfell, the list, her name. These weren't just memories. They were who she was. Okay, so let's walk down that darker path. What if she had made the other choice? What if she really did let go and forgot everything? This is the chilling reality of becoming no one. The Arya we know, that feisty, loyal, adventure-loving girl from Winterfell, she would have just ceased to exist. A complete and total erasure of her soul. And this isn't some vague idea, it's a methodical process. First, you surrender your past. Then you abandon your name. You eliminate all your desires. And finally, you forget the very memories that define you. It's just horrifying when you lay it out step by step like that. And what's the end result of all this? Not a person, a tool. An incredibly valuable, perfectly obedient weapon for the many-faced god. And here's maybe the most important distinction of all. Her motivation would be completely stripped away. See, the Arya we know kills for a twisted sense of justice. This other version of her would kill anyone, a king, a merchant, a baker, with the exact same cold detachment. No feeling, just a contract fulfilled. So if Arya is gone, what does that mean for everyone else? Well, her absence would create these massive, massive ripples across all of Westeros. Let's really game this out. Because without Arya Stark playing her part, some of the story's biggest, most iconic moments would change dramatically, or maybe not even happen at all. Okay, this is the big one. She is the hero of the Battle of Winterfell, period. Without her and that Valyrian steel dagger at that perfect, critical moment, does anyone else stop the Night King? It's entirely possible the story just ends right there, with the world completely consumed by the long night. And then you've got the emotional pillar of the entire series, that powerful, cathartic reunion of the Stark children finally finding their way back to each other. Gone. It would just disappear. A huge part of the story's heart would be lost forever. And you know, this is the ultimate tragedy of it all. As no one, Arya would be completely ignorant of everything she'd lost. She wouldn't even remember her family, so she couldn't feel their absence. But we, the audience, we would feel that loss profoundly. All of this brings us back to the story as we know it, and it really highlights why her actual choice was her greatest triumph. And that's what's so critical to understand. Her true power isn't just her skill with the blade, it's her victory of identity. When she finally looks at Jake and Har and says, "A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell and I'm going home," that is her defining moment. That's the win. It really just boils down to this.
The Faceless Men wanted a perfect weapon. She chose to be a whole person. They demanded obedience. She chose her own path. They offered the peace of forgetting. She embraced the pain of remembering.
And that's what makes her so compelling, isn't it? She doesn't reject the darkness or the skills she learned in it. No, she incorporates them, she carries them with her, but she does it all on her own terms. Through it all, she remains, defiantly, Arya Stark.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Did she ever really leave their influence behind? Or did she just take their training, break all their rules, and become a rogue agent operating in the world, making her, just maybe, the most dangerous assassin of all? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.